Hey, Brown Beauties.
You're tuned into Well Honestly, a podcast where wisdom meets wellness.
Hello there. So happy to meet you. Welcome to Well Honestly, the podcast. Doreen Germany. I'm sorry. Where did I get Gray from? I want to be Gray so long. I even had Gray somewhere else. This is Doreen Germany. Doreen, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, sister, for having me.
We are so excited to talk to you. We actually live near each other. Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew? Just know this is a very small world. But Doreen is a certified natural health counselor. And I heard you talk on another podcast, and I was so impressed with your conversation. I believe was Gillian Berry,
Yes.
where I heard I listened to her podcast because I've been evolving into raw foods. And so I listened to a lot of her podcasts for inspiration. And I saw you and I said, there's my fellow health coach. And I wanted to talk to you because I know you've helped thousands of people worldwide. You know, in the last 10 years, you've been doing this 10 years?
Yes, ma'am. Since 2014.
Wow. So my hat's off to you. Kudos to you because it's a great profession. I actually am I've been doing it only 3 years. And I'm transitioning into it actually full time to replace my real estate career. But I understand you specialize in hormonal disorders and you work with a lot of women over 40. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So what I'd like for you to do is tell our audience what started you, what got you into wanting to be or into the nutrition realm of things and become a certified natural health counselor. What started you? Did you have your own challenges?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that's the majority of most coaches, right? And counselors. We usually delve off into whatever it is that we've been struggling with, because when the spirit helps us to overcome it, we want to give back, right? There's certain people that just want to give back and help everybody, right? And so, of course, mine started as a result of my own health challenges 13 years ago, when by the time I was almost 40, I was just plagued with so many health concerns, which was really surprising to me because I was doing everything that I thought that was healthy, right?
Okay.
So I was doing, back then it was called Atkins diet. Now it's the keto, but same thing. And I was faithful on that. Like I first started that, the Atkins diet in my, I think, early 30s, and I lost weight fast in 90 days.
Yes. It happens fast. I actually started doing keto, and actually keto triggered all my health issues.
Yeah. And that's where I was going with that. So, that, a lot of times we see like the quick benefits. We're a fast society. We they call us the microwave society, where we want everything fast. That's why people like medication, because medication is fast.
Absolutely.
Right? So you have a headache and it's going to eliminate the headache, but you don't see what it's doing to your kidneys, your liver, your colon, your digestive system, and 20 other organs. So but so I was doing everything I knew to do healthy, and it wasn't working. And by 39, I was just plagued with so many health concerns. I had pre-diabetes, pre-high cholesterol, severe allergies, arthritis in my left foot. I was 175 pounds, and I was still struggling, trying to do everything I thought I knew. Googling, YouTubing, doing everything, trying any and everything. And it wasn't until I got diagnosed with those 4 large fibroids, and which I had never heard of fibroids in my life. And I was told there was no answer, no other. I asked the doctor, I said, well, how did I get them? What can I do? And he said, get a hysterectomy. He said, Black women get them all the time. It's no big deal. He says, you're almost 40. You have 3 kids, don't you? You're not going to have any more children.
Wow.
He said, I hope not. Now, it was that right there when he said, you're not going to have any more children. I hope not.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
That when the light bulb just kind of came on? Yeah.
I was like, well, doctor, is there anything that I should eat or not eat? Because, my mom had taught us how to eat pretty healthy when I was young. And it was 5 of us. I'm the oldest of 5. We never got sick, sister. We didn't get, my mama didn't get us the school shots. She always got a waiver.
Oh, really? Okay.
We just never, like, all 5
you
of us. You
taking castor oil or something? Was she making you take a dose of castor oil? My mother used to make us take a spoonful of castor oil every night.
Now, tell you, but it was worse. It
It
was,
was not.
Cream cheese and the molasses and eggs in our orange juice, raw eggs, and just all kinds of things. But she might have been a bit radical. But again, we weren't sick until I got on my own. When I in my late teens, when I was out on my own, that's when all the sicknesses started. And I didn't know. We don't
Mhm.
typically a lot of times equate that to the food. But
Right.
anyway, when he said, and that's why I asked him, I said, is there anything that I should stop eating or should start eating? He said, no. And so that's when I started to say, well, you know what? Let me look into this. He said, go home, have Thanksgiving with your family, talk it over with your husband, and come back after Thanksgiving and have this hysterectomy. And I said,
Wow.
well, God put our
Wow.
organs here for a reason. There's got to be some type of repercussion if I take my organs out. He's like, oh, you'll be fine. People get them all the time.
Wow.
I wasn't
Wow.
satisfied with that. So, sister, I did my research. What I found the difference, what was the difference was, again, I was doing everything I know to do. And remember, I told you my mom had taught us how to eat healthy. Okay, but
Right.
there comes a time where you have to pay a professional for what they're good at, right?
Correct.
We can keep leaning to our own understanding and treating our bodies like a science experiment, or we can go to someone and say, listen, would you please teach me and show me? So that's what I did. I went to the place in Michigan. It cut a couple $1,000s, a few $1,000s, but it was so worth it. For 10 days, they showed me how to eat off the land organic. I didn't know anything about the pesticides in the food. I didn't know what they were doing to our meats. I didn't know anything about that. I learned all of that. I came home, I did it for 6 months, and I got rid of all three of the fibroids, and the other one was so small that it didn't even show up on the.
Wow. Wow.
And now,
And I hear stories like this, which is, by the way, this is our Wellness Warrior series. And we know that you are definitely a wellness warrior. I mean, to take charge of your health like that. But a lot of people, and this is a question I get from a lot of women, what they know that they can do something better, but what motivates, I guess they always ask me, what motivates you, Andretta, to do the things better that you do? Because we're not, I just don't feel like I can do what you do. I hear that. Do you get that a lot? That people feel like they
absolutely.
can't do what you do, and so they want you to just pull them by the hand and show them every step of the way. Or what I have found, and you probably found the same thing, is that you have to really have a desire and make a commitment. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. And so if you're not in the right mindset, and I think generally, and you can, I hate to say this, but generally people have gotten lazy. The internet has made people pretty lazy. And so now we just want to Dr. Google everything and see if we can just find a way to get rid of whatever it is without any professional help. But I think what you're doing, because getting rid of fibroids is running rampant, especially in the Black community. I run into women all the time. My daughter has fibroids. She just developed them this year. And so she never had them before, and she's 37 years old. So and she asked me, she said, what should I do? I said, it's your diet. It's your diet. And so, and stress, of course, stress plays
Yeah.
a role in it as well. I mean, we know that a lot of times, and I'm sure you know that the health, it just doesn't include food, it includes our mental state as well, and exercise. So tell me something. Tell me, what do you eat today? What is your daily routine like?
Sure, I can answer that, but do you want me to go back and answer the
Yes,
one about what
yes, ma'am.
motivates?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so you gotta have, like you said, a very strong why. Okay, for me, it was my children, my husband, everybody was just so stressed out. Sometimes we don't understand the stress that we're putting on our family by constantly being sick, right? You
Mhm.
can't live in your purpose. You can't live to your full purpose or your potential if you're sick all the time. It's just, I don't care if you're a pastor, a minister, whatever it is, you feel so much better when you get the closer you get to nature, right? And so for me, I wanted to be here for my children. I
Mhm.
knew that if I got that hysterectomy, that was not getting to the root cause, and that root cause was going to show up elsewhere. And now, as a counselor, I see it. A lot of the sisters that did get the hysterectomy, they now have female
Mhm.
cancers
Mhm.
because the fibroids are coming from an estrogen dominance, right? And so when you take out my uterus, that does not, the estrogen is still pulling in my blood, the toxins. And why was I estrogen dominant? Because my liver is not working properly. So it's going to show up elsewhere. You're going to show up in other growths. Next thing you know, you got cancer tumors. So you got to get to the root cause. So that was I wanted to get to the root cause because I was not going to go down that merry-go-round of starting on medication, getting surgery, and then getting sicker. And now I'm on more medication. Imagine where I would be 13 years later had I did that. I wouldn't have gotten the root cause of it.
Right.
So that was my motivating factor. And as far as mindset, sister, you are absolutely right. Us women, especially, we will sacrifice for our children, our house, our husband, our dog, our job. But when it comes to ourselves, there's a limiting belief. There's a blockage, right? We'll say, well, if your child wants, $1,000 game system for Christmas, you're going to get it for them. But to spend $1,000, $2,000 on ourselves up front for something like that, we just don't do it. And we'll just say, well, I'll just figure it out myself. I'm going to go back on Google. The problem with that is there is no one size fits all for everybody.
Exactly.
So many sisters tell me, oh, I've done raw vegan. I tried that already. I tried a holistic. It didn't work for me. You didn't have, I had someone that guided me. He gave me special herbs. He told me what special herbs to do. He told me special breathing techniques. Like it was a whole holistic,
whole wellness.
Holistic, right?
Yes.
So you benefit from working with someone. And I get a lot of sisters that come to me and they're taking things and I look at the ingredients and I'm like, sister, this is contributing to your kidney disease.
Right.
Sister, you're taking these herbs, which are good for a lot of things, but you have fibroid growth. You're not supposed to be taking these herbs. They're not going to always know that. So it's a mindset, but we got to understand that there's people to help. Just like we're going to go to the professional, get our hair done when we're going somewhere fancy. We're not going to sit at home and try and do it ourselves, right? Because we know we're not going to look right. So it's the same thing when it comes to our health. You got to have a mindset.
So prioritizing.
Absolutely.
And you're absolutely right. It's about because my thing is, if you don't prioritize your health, nothing else is you won't be here to do all these other things that you enjoy to do. And it's funny because a lot of people just don't want to hear that, or or maybe they're not ready to hear it yet. Let me put it to you like that. And so you counsel women and you work with a lot of individuals on your program. I see that you have a book here, 21 Days to Better Health.
Yeah.
And congratulations on that, by the way. That's a beautiful thing. I mean, because I feel the more people that you can reach, I don't care how you reach them, just reach them, because we don't have a lot of people specifically that look like us that we can actually look like and talk to help us. Because if we look alike, we have a tendency to say, well, did you overcame that? So if you were able to overcome that doesn't make me any more special than you, because I just put in the work. And so that's it.
And the food has to taste good. Our community, we like good food. That was me. Okay. Food had to taste good in order for me to see this. So when I went to that farm, they taught me how to eat, and I appreciate that, but I couldn't wait to get home to learn how to use my own seasonings. And so my book, 21 Days, is 21 Days to Better Health, is an introduction for people who are coming from the standard American diet and have no clue. So I say, listen, food can taste so good. And that book and my program has been featured all in newspapers all across the U.S. in September of last year. U.S. Post, New York Post, Washington, because of the deliciousness of the foods. The foods are so good, but every single thing you're putting in your body is healing for the body. So I show you how to start today. Go to the store. I give you a GPS guideline. This is what you buy at the store. It doesn't matter where you're at in the country. This is what you buy. This is what you eat for day one, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you do it, the amazing healing that people start to see. So it's an introduction to say, this really tastes good and I feel good.
Hi, I'm Andretta Robinson, a certified functional nutrition wellness coach with a personal journey that fuels my passion. In 2008, I faced a pre-cancer diagnosis that threatened my health and well-being. My determination led me to discover an alternative, non-surgical treatment that saved my womb and my life. Fast forward to the challenging times post-pandemic, I encountered new health hurdles, including high blood pressure and thyroid issues. Embracing a whole food, plant-based diet, among other lifestyle adjustments, empowered me to restore my health. Our platform is a treasure trove of wellness resources for brown women. Find us on YouTube and other social media platforms. Your wellness journey starts here.
So, are you introducing most of your clients to more fruits and vegetables in your book and showing them how to incorporate that, or are you taking the same foods that they normally eat and making it delicious without some of the oil? I mean, what is your style? How are you
That's the
transitioning
approach.
people? Yes.
So it's a plant-based for the 21 days, it's all plant-based, but I
Okay.
don't believe in labels, okay? So
Okay.
people will ask me, "Are you vegan?" No, I'm not. I don't do labels, okay?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
believe in whole, pure foods, right?
Okay.
The closer you get to the whole food, the
Yes.
better.
Yes.
Organic foods, pure foods that's not, injected with things. So I don't say vegan or all of this, but the 21-day detox is a plant-based detox, but I
Okay.
have things in there. The foods are so good that they're like, this is, I've had people tell me, my husband was like, there's no way we can get better eating this food. It just tastes so good. Because you're
Okay.
eating things like teriyaki collard green wraps, you're eating
Yes.
curry vegetable soup, you're
Okay.
drinking pina colada smoothies and chocolate puddings with four
Sure.
ingredients. And every ingredient that's you're putting in your body has something that it's a healing property.
Got it.
Every
Got it. Got it. Okay. And you're right. Food does have to taste delicious.
yeah.
That's important. I mean, because when I first started, it was because you're transitioning for one thing, because our bodies, most people don't understand how addictive food can be. So you're addicted to the cheese. Now you're addicted to dairy products and you're addicted to that coffee drink every day. And so it is a mindset for them because I recently just transitioned into eating more live foods.
Mhm.
And so I'm always so people look at me and they go, "Oh my God, how could you eat that? Andretta must eat leaves." No, Andretta eats well. Andretta is eating good food, and so I'm like you. Sometimes I'll sample some of it and I'll say, "I just made the." They say they don't expect it to taste good at all. But it's so surprising what you can do to plants and what you can do to fruits and vegetables and to make them taste good because I had the mindset of like even my daughter, she's like, Mom, I said, let me ask you a question. Would you eat this chicken without any seasoning on it or anything on it? Would you just eat that chicken? Just pick up that. Well, it's the same thing with
Yeah.
when we eat our plants. We season those plants, and we can season those plants in a way that it's good for us. Well, they don't believe me, Doreen. A lot of them go. They even so. I have to ask you this question: your friends and your family, how did they adapt to when you did a change and you went away and you came back and you had to socialize with the people that you normally socialize with? And let's say you go to an event and they're serving all these. So, how did you transition yourself to be in the society of other people and people that you know work with all the time and they're eating one way and then you're eating a different way? How did you were able to make that work for yourself and still keep those friends, I should say? Or did your friendships change or did people change around you? How did you transition? Because that seems to be for me one of the struggles that I'm going through because a lot of people look at me now and they go, they don't invite me. They don't want to invite me anywhere because they afraid or they don't want me to go out and order. I can't pick the restaurant anymore for anybody. Don't
Mhm.
let Andretta pick that restaurant. So I want to know how have you been able to transition to your social life, your family, your friends, and all of that when you eat the way that you eat?
Well, that's a good question. So first, I do want to say, like you were saying about live foods, the more live foods you eat, the more you live.
Mhm,
Okay, the more dead foods you eat, the
mhm,
faster you die. That's the best way to remember. So
mhm,
even that includes cooked food. I may eat cooked food every now and then.
Mhm.
Like I said, so I'm not, just all raw vegan or what have you.
Mhm.
Like I had a boiled purple sweet potato. It was really good
Oh,
a few days
yeah.
ago, because I was craving it. Like I don't deny when my body tells me it wants something, you
Mhm.
know, but I'm not hard on myself, like, oh, today, all this week, we're only gonna eat raw. Like when my body tells me it wants something, that's what I eat because I'm
Okay.
so in tune with it.
Mm.
Now, so that's the best way to remember. The more live foods you eat, the more you live. The more dead foods you eat, the faster you die. The
Okay.
faster you're going to develop diseases and mucus and inflammation in your body. Point
Mhm.
blank period. So, as far as how did I socialize and things like that, well, people were looking at me like an example. First of all, I've always marched to my own beat. And I'm proud of that. Like when people tell me I'm different, that's a compliment for me. If
Mhm.
you tell me that I act just like someone, I get a little bit offended because I'm like, no, I'm very unique,
Mhm.
and I take pride in that. So everybody that knows me knows Dee's gonna do a D. She's what feels good for her. She's not
Mhm.
trying to hurt you. It's no offense to you. But I'm over 50 years old now. I'm
Mhm.
gonna live my life. I've worked hard, I've raised kids, I've been married. I'm gonna live the way, I want to live, right? So people don't question me about my
Not
choices,
anymore, huh?
but I'm such a good example, Adreta, because you know, um, everybody was so used to me always being sick and always in the hospital. And I knew it was now I can tell it was a mindset too.
Mhm.
I had so much childhood trauma and so much stress, and I just wasn't in a happy state. So it was definitely affecting my body as well. It was keeping me sick, right?
Mhm.
Um, but as they saw me stop going to the hospital, they saw me started getting so vibrant and full of life and, slimming down and getting that little 28-inch waistline that I had back in high school.
I
I'm a
know that's right.
everybody's like, well, I want to do what you're doing. So it was pretty easy. My sons, my youngest son, he's now almost 20.
Okay.
But at the time he was 6. And I'm so happy that I started early with him because he had just been diagnosed with ADHD and they were talking about manic depressive disorder and all of this. And when I
Mm.
when I came home from their farm and stopped giving them animal protein and started giving them I mean, I didn't completely change because I have a husband and I'm not gonna do that. But I
Right.
did, buy organic meats and things like that. But we stopped using milk. We started using almond milk and things like that. Do you know my son's behavior completely changed? His
Wow.
mindset changed and everything.
Mm.
And to this day, my son graduated at the top of his class, at the top of the
Wow.
country on the SAT scores. He's always been
Wow.
ahead of himself. But had I let them put him on medication and all of that, he wouldn't
Right.
be where he's at.
Right.
So everybody was seeing the difference. And so people started coming to me for advice like, look, I got this. What can you do for this? And,
Right.
that's when I
Right.
said, let me go get educated.
Mhm.
Because I started to realize there was no one size fits all for everybody. And because people were looking at me like a beacon of light, I had to get educated so I could learn how to help people. Today, I'm almost 54 years old, and it's kind of back then at 39, sister. I showed you a couple pictures. I
Yes,
sent
I
you
saw
pictures.
them.
There's
Yes.
one of me in this suit, this gray suit. I'm 39 there. I
Mhm.
literally look in that suit then older than I do now.
Yeah.
And I've never been at a point in my life where people thought I was younger than I am. So it's kind of frustrating to me now because it's like sometimes people are not taking me seriously because they think I'm in my 30s. And I'm like, no,
Oh,
I was
wow. That's a compliment. Yes.
and it's a compliment to the lifestyle,
Yes.
okay? So I don't
Yes.
brag because I'm proud of my age, and I'm not obsessed with looking young for my age, right?
Yes.
But we can look good,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We
Yes.
can
Yes.
have clear skin. I don't wear makeup at all. The only thing I do is
Your skin looks incredible.
thank you,
So you've
sister.
been eating this way for
13 years.
13 years? Wow. Well, I look up to that. When I get to be eating this way 13 years, I'll be looking at you. I said, look at me. I'm at 13 years because I've really only started eating this way. Seriously, I was going in and out. You know how you go in, you go out, in and out. But I like you, I had a life-changing event that I went to. And when I went to that event, it made me get real serious and say, you know what? I want to experience it all. But right now, people look at me and think I'm extreme, but I'm not really trying to be extreme. I just want to feel good. You just
Yeah,
want to feel
that's
good. And
all.
then the look good part comes with the feel good part. It just comes
Yes.
automatically. So I'm trying to get the word out, and that's why I wanted to talk to you because you are getting the word out. I'm very proud that you are. I'm so happy. I'm going to go and buy your book, 21 Days to Better Health, so I can see, because you we call you wellness warriors. That's why we try to find women all over the world who have done things to change things about themselves, so that other women can see that they too can do this. I just want to make sure they understand that. But I want to go back to that question because we're going to wrap it up because we did start had a late start. I want to find out, what do you eat in a normal day? Tell us what your normal day eating looks like.
So I eat a lot of berries. Oh my
Okay.
goodness. I eat berries are so good for our hormonal health. Now I just went through menopause a year ago and I don't get hot flashes.
Oh,
And I was
congratulations. Yes, yes.
But it comes from eating so many berries, and I eat cucumbers like going out of style. Like I put
Mhm.
cucumbers in my smoothies. I use cucumbers for water. Like I use probably 5 large cucumbers a day is what I.
Wow.
But
Wow.
berries, like a lot of organic, like wild berries and blueberries. As long as they're organic, they are so healthy and they fight cancer. Do you know that berries are one of the number one superfoods?
Yes,
So
yes,
I eat a
yes,
lot of berries. I make berry smoothies.
yes.
Or I'll have like some organic berries with some coconut whipped cream on them and some walnuts and flax meal.
Okay.
And that's like a really balanced meal. And so I do a lot of smoothies, juices. Like right now, I'm drinking a green juice. That's why I have so much energy.
Aha.
But I don't do like just all juice fast because that's not good for our hormones. Just so you
Mhm,
know, women over
mhm,
40, it's not good for us to just be all juice. And you need some amino acids and you need some
mhm.
fat. So
Yeah,
I show you how to juice fast, but also have your amino acids and your
yeah,
fats.
yeah, yes.
But and then I eat like large salads. Oh my God, I put everything on salads, chickpeas and
Yeah.
pickled beets. And I do eat plant-based yogurts, and I am playing with finding out how to make my own yogurts.
I saw, actually, it was on Jillian's interview, and I think it was I'm trying to remember the doctor's name that made his yogurt. He made it right on li it was and I was like, he took it from his own probiotic and made the yogurt. And
Yeah,
I wanna go back and look at it because I looked at that and I said, "Oh, wow, I never thought about making my own yogurt before." From
yeah,
coconuts, using a coconut and,
yeah.
probiotic
Almond
and stuff.
milk. You
Yeah,
can make
you know what's so much
almond.
fun? This is so much
Yeah,
fun to me because coming from where we came from and how we were taught to cook in the standard American diet to where we are, where we're and now cooking more plant-based, I
uh-huh.
find myself searching and looking for recipes and trying out new things and trying to figure out, oh wow, I never tried that before. The other day I got my dehydrator. I don't know if you saw it. I was on Facebook and I saw it. It came. This is my first time working with a dehydrator. And
Oh,
so
it's so much fun.
oh my God. And
So
then
much
last night I made kale chips. And so
Did you make the cheesy kale?
I did.
Oh,
And
I love
listen,
cheesy kale.
today and when my daughter came and my videographer came, my engineer came, we were doing a podcast recording. I offered them some. They were like, everybody stopped. They were like, oh, this is really good. And I looked up and I thought I had a lot of kale chips and they're gone. I mean, we've
Yeah,
been eating on them all day. So I'm excited. What I want women to understand is you can get excited about eating more plants. It can be good, it
yeah,
can taste good and be healthy at the same time.
yeah.
So
I
now
do.
that I found out that you're close by, you and I are going to have to definitely have
Yeah.
a lunch or something together. In fact, I just discovered a beautiful live food restaurant in Lockport. You probably know about it. Uh,
Yeah, in there.
and
Yeah.
we'll have to go out sometime because it's great finding women of like mind. And that's one of the things that I try and tell people. I say you want to surround yourself with people who have similar interests
Yeah.
as you so that you can rub off on them the goodness, and they can rub off on you the goodness. You don't have to be stuck in one mode,
Yeah.
So I'm glad I heard you that day on Jillian's podcast. And then to find out that you live close by is just that's kudos and hats off to us. So we were supposed to meet, we were supposed to talk,
Yeah.
and I know you got things to do.
Yeah. Can I
Yeah.
wrap up with two quick things?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I do, like I said, I do, because I was telling you all the raw foods and things like that I eat. I do make sure I get, like I said, my protein. So, nuts. You know, a lot of people, they come into these plant-based diets and they're like still trying, you still have these blockages from other things like don't eat nuts because they're fattening or don't eat avocados. But I'm going to tell you, if you're doing all plant-based, the more of the healing foods, the more of the raw foods you put in your body, the more healing you get, right? So don't be afraid to eat nuts. You know, raw walnuts are so good for you. Almonds are good for you. You know, things like that. You know, I make my nut butters out of sunflower seeds. Good, you know, things like that. And then there are times where I will eat like wild rice. Sweet potatoes are so healing.
Oh yes. So, I'll bake a sweet potato. That's my. I started back. I love the purple sweet potatoes. If you've never had a purple sweet potato, you're missing out. It looks funny. It looks funny to you at first because you go, my sweet potato should look red. But then when you see the purple and you taste it, the yumminess of it is so. I was shocked the first time that I ate it. You know, I was like, wow. So you're absolutely right. I mean,
the brown, the rice, the beans. You know, lentils are so good. Good source of fiber, protein, and all of that. So, you know, those things are good as well. And then also for the book, you can get the book on Amazon. It's $40. It's the best $40 investment you're going to make, especially if you're looking for more recipes or you're looking just to get started in this lifestyle.
Yes, that's wonderful. And I definitely will go. And so we're going to put a link below where you can go and buy her 21 Days to Better Health book, and also where they can find you. We'll put all those links below so that women can find you, because again, the more of us out there to help, the better. You know, so I really want to make sure that people find you and try your program. And I am so excited that we got a chance to talk after we had a little bit technical difficulties to get started, but it was meant to be. And I appreciate you, Doreen. Is there anything final you want to say to our audience before we leave?
Just that the body can heal, sis. I say this all the time. And one of my clients, she's 80 years old. She said it 2 weeks ago. She's like, I feel better after 3 weeks of working with, like, she eating the way she's supposed to. She said, this is the way we were supposed to be eating all along. She's literally, her body is reversing and she's shocked. You don't expect an 80-year-old sister's body.
It's never too late, is it?
Body can heal, sis. It wants to heal. And I'm not saying you, sis. I'm saying to all the sisters out here, your body can heal. It doesn't matter if you have a 7-year-old or you're 77. If you take away what it doesn't need and give it what it does, the body starts to do miraculous things. We're witnesses.
That's right. That's right. I will be 70 this year. So that's why. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So attest to the skin, attest to the way of eating. Like I said, I've been eating like this for 3 years. And I did see a reversal of it, everything reversed. Like you, I had a story. They wanted to do some things to me as well. But like you, I took charge. And this is the message. Take charge of your own health. Don't let the doctors tell you that you can or cannot do this. The limited belief is what gets us sick, you know, because we don't have to. There are alternatives. I want people to understand. That's why I'm excited to have these series of talking to women. So other women, you guys, there are alternatives out there. You don't have to get well. I'm not telling people don't go to the doctor. I want to make sure I say that because, you know, people listen to our podcast and they go, oh, they're saying, no, we're not anti-doctor because we need our doctors. So we're just saying, open up your mind and make sure that you know that there are all alternatives out there. Doreen cured her fibroids. Fibroids are running rampant in our community right now. She changed her diet. She doesn't have those fibroids anymore. I hope you're listening because this is such an important message. And thank you so much, Doreen, for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you later.
Thank you for tuning in to Well Honestly, the podcast, proudly brought to you by Brown Women Wellness. Dive deeper into our wellness universe by visiting us at brownwomenwellness.com.
Join our exclusive private community, a sanctuary for exchanging ideas, finding support, and accessing exclusive workshops tailored to your wellness needs. Stay connected with us across all social media platforms at Brown Women Wellness.
And remember to always consult with your doctor for personalized medical advice. Until next time, keep thriving on your wellness journey.